Hello, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Front Mission 5, Scars of the War. So, having gone through the introduction and set up the DirectX 11 hardware acceleration, as the poll seems to indicate you all wanted, I'm ready to start a new game. Just a brief comment on some of the options on the title menu. Front Mission Online just displays a preview video, promotional video for Front Mission Online. Theater allows you to view cinematics that you've already unlocked in the game. And then options lets you set up your options, but we're going to do that once we already have started the game and are able to save, so that the options will actually stick. And then you have continue, which is, I believe, allows you to continue in battle save, and load game will allow you to load a out of battle save. So a save that was made either in between acts or at base. Anyhow, let's get started with our playthrough of Front Mission 5.
Alpha 1、こちらレッド6。重傷者が1名出た。至急降走する必要がある。至急降走する必要がある。
レッド6、車両隊が向かっている。だが時間がかかりそうだ。
アルファ1、それほど持たない。急いでくれ。
レッド6、こちらブルーナイン。西から民衆がそちらに向かっているぞ。現在3ブロック先のストリートを進んでいる。3ブロック先だ。レッド6、彼らは先だって言えるぞ。見つかるな。移動しろ、移動しろ。
くそ。アルファ1、こちらレッド6。移動はできない。ここで応戦する。火器の使用許可を求める。
レッド6、我々は PKF だ。 OCU エリアでの交戦は許可できない。繰り返す。 OCU エリアでの交戦は許可できない。アルファ1、こちらレッド2。東からバンツァーが来る。東からバンツァー。アルファ1、こちらレッド3。バンツァーを確認した。 OCU の機体が4機。 OCU の機体が4機だ。レッド6、こちらアルファ1。確認が取れた。それは敵の裏切り者だ。攻撃をするな。
武装している市民に告げる。我々は PKF だ。このエリアでの戦闘は禁止されている。直ちに武器を放棄し投降せよ。
繰り返す。直ちに武器を放棄し投降せよ。レッド6、こちらユルフォ。
バンツァーの下に立つな。学習してないのか。早く負傷兵を連れて退避しろ。
指示に従わない場合、武力権を行使する。
最終警告だ。武器を放棄して投降しろ。
鎮圧ってな、こうやるもんだ。
レッド6、いつまでも生身でうろうろするんじゃない。
葬式に顔を出せない俺を不憫に思うなら、早く厚着できるようになれ。ガンホー、どうぞ。
ユルフォー、こちらレッド6。
ガンホー了解。写真届いたぞ。協力を感謝する。通信終わり。
Okay, so we've got the three characters from the intro cinematic all appearing in this short scene at the beginning here. Walter Fung and Randy, his friend. I guess I'll just let this play.
少数でも高い戦闘能力を有するバンツァーは戦う場所を選ばない。各国の軍隊に急速に普及したバンツァーは緊迫する世界情勢と紛争に機体の性能を押し上げ、戦場の風景を一変させていった。また新人が来るのか。
Right. So yeah, Walter and Randy were both working as USN infantrymen and participating in a PKF or peacekeeping force that was patrolling the border between the USN and OCU areas of Huffman Island. And as you saw there, you know, they were getting screwed over because they couldn't use their rifles to defend themselves in the face of the aggression of the locals. This is a nice scene here. Always kind of gives me a little bit of shivers when I see that scene for some reason. So, yeah, here we are. I guess we're in the next year. And following Glenn's advice, so Glenn was the other kid in that intro scene, and he was the pilot of the OCU Wanzer in the scene where Walter and Randy were infantrymen. Following his advice, they have decided to enlist in the Wanzer Corps. And I apologize, you know, the translation in that first scene is a little bit rough. It's too literal. Like I said, this isn't exactly my best work, but the basic sense of it was, you know, quit moping around and get yourselves into Wanzers because being infantrymen is a little bit pathetic and kind of beneath you. And then the other significant point of information there was that, you know, Glenn had the photo they took in the intro cinematic in his cockpit, and he had sent a copy of that photo to Randy and Walter across the border in the USN area. Because, well, we'll get into the reasons why Glenn ended up on the OCU side and Walter and Randy are on the USN side in just a moment. But first we have to deal with this tutorial here. Oops, sorry. As a matter of fact, I believe this is the first scene I ever translated of the game. For the most part, I got started on the tutorials that are included in the game, but I did translate this scene first. Alright, so we can talk a little bit about the game system here. We do have a free look, for the most part, with our right analog stick, and we can move the cursor around with either the D-pad or the left analog stick. The blue areas indicate our movement range, and this highlighted square is where we have to move. So we're going to do that, and then we are given the option to either make an attack, use items, or end our turn, and since there are no enemies, we will end our turn. Alright. Okay, so if you hold down the square button, you can choose your different equipped weapons. And you'll see at the bottom there, it switches between PB and SG. And it also changes the icon to the right of that weapon type display. And that just indicates the type of damage that the attack does. And we'll get a little bit more into the different attack types once we kind of get into the game. But I'm going to choose the press needle because this enemy unit is unmanned and won't counterattack, so we might as well just try to take its body down as fast as possible, which melee attacks are usually pretty good at doing. So we can see that the strike skill is being leveled up for Walter when we do these attacks. Because the more you use a certain type of weapon, the more that the skill for that type of weapon is leveled up. The bottom progress bar indicates your weapon type progression, and the top progress bar indicates your overall level progression. Okay, so it's just showing us the thing that I talked about a moment ago. So we can see that this unit has a knuckle, and this unit also has a knuckle, so naturally, in order to not get hit, we can attack them with a ranged weapon from 2 or more squares away. It's a little bit tedious. Yeah, okay, we got that. This tutorial is a little bit tedious, especially considering how many times I've restarted this game. But, you know, it gives me an opportunity to talk here. What else can I mention? Well, certainly I can mention that the upscale graphics look very nice when it comes to the actual combat in the game. You may have noticed a little bit of sound desyncing in the cinematics. It does happen because my computer isn't quite powerful enough to upscale the game and maintain, 100% synchronization with the audio. But I think that it's kind of at the point where it's not a big deal. And another thing you might notice is that when the Wanzers move, they kind of skate along the ground. And this is, kind of characteristic of the Front Mission series. It's something that distinguishes Wanzers from, say, the mecha in BattleTech, which are much larger than Wanzers, and also much more lumbering. To the extent that they can kind of move very quickly, they use jump jets to do that. But in the Front Mission series, typically Wanzers move quickly by using these kind of skates on their feet, basically like high-powered treads or wheels. And this gives them a very different character from the mecha you might see in some other games. Even compared to Armored Core, the Wanzers are much smaller mechs, except of course with the difference of Armored Core 5, which used the same size mecha as in Front Mission because the game was so heavily influenced by Front Mission Online. Alright, so Walter Fung has progressed past his basic training trials. But, oh, someone else is coming. Oh, it's Randy. Yeah, I mean, Randy is not a character of any great complexity or innovation. He's very much a stereotyped character. He's Walter's big dumb friend, and he eats too much. So, yeah, that's, he's the lovable idiot with the heart of gold. That's really all he is. There's nothing more to him than that. And Walter, of course, is, disappointed with Randy as always because Randy is an idiot. But he loves him anyway. They're bros. Alright, so here we are in the base interface for the game. And this soundtrack, or this track from the OST is burned into my mind after innumerable hours sitting in the base screen translating text. The Front Mission 5 OST, I think, is kind of unremarkable. It gets the job done, but it's not anything that special. But this is one track I'll never forget. Anyhow, you can press the triangle button and it gives you a brief profile of the pilots that you can see, and that's because you can actually recruit pilots into your team later in the game. And, it gives a little bit of biographical details. These are our kind of our graduating class, more or less. Alright, so let's talk to Jamie. He says he's serious. Alright. And that's the first indication we get that Walter is a reliable fighter, soldier, very capable. Pretty much everything that Randy is not. So Damon maybe has IBS and a little bit of potty humor there. And we can make some pretty basic choices in terms of dialogue in the game. Some of them matter, but most of them don't. But this is one of them that doesn't really matter. Yeah, let's do it. And this is the first mention of Front Mission 1 that we see in the game. The Larcus Incident is the incident that happens in the first mission of Front Mission 1, where Royd and his team are sent to investigate a facility, and they end up in a fight with some mysterious attackers. And this ends up setting off the war between the OCU and the USN. And right now we're at the point where the Larcus Incident has happened, but the war has not yet begun. Okay, we can leave. Alright, look at those nice titles. That was done thanks to some amazing work by the hackers on our team who were able to reinsert graphics into the game. Those aren't generated out of a fixed font, they're actually image files that were inserted into the game by our team, and I think they look pretty fantastic. Especially compared to the font that most of the dialogue is rendered in, which really obviously looks, you know, kind of double width Japanese, not particularly suited for the job. So over at the communication section, we can save our game. We will do that. And we'll just save over this. That was just a test file I was working on. Alright, we can go to the sound options. Obviously we're going to use stereo. Screen position, I believe, does not work when you're running in 16:9. And we can select our window color. So I'm going to select this one. It's kind of got a Zen burn type look. It's a little bit easier on my eyes. If you guys don't like it, let me know and I'll choose something else. We can choose show battles, battle display auto, or we can choose the automatic battle camera or the fixed far away battle camera. We can select the battle speed. So normally when you're in a battle scene, if you press the, I believe it's the O button, it will speed it up. But if you set the game to fast, you can press the O button and it will slow it down. So I'm actually going to not set it to fast right away, just to give you all a sense of what the battles look like, and then as the game goes on, I will progressively, you know, make things faster and faster so we can just get through the missions. It's kind of one of the sad things about these games is that so much work is put into making the battles look really pretty, and then they get repetitive and you end up just kind of skipping over them. But, you know, that's something I might come back to when I talk about the design of strategy RPGs and some of the weird things about them. The battle window, we'll keep that. I believe that just shows the stats in the battle. If you want a really cinematic look, you can hide it. Unit names, I'm not quite sure what that does. Oh, I see, it displays their names in battle. Okay. And then the HP bars, we definitely want that. So we will save and exit, and then we'll go and save our game. And we can start exploring the base. Alright, let's head over to the troop barracks. Look at all these areas we can go to. Just imagine how much text that was to translate, and how much of it people never even read. I would say, you know, the base dialogue was about 80% of the translation job, and I kind of wonder how much people actually ever read it, because some of it is pretty trite. Some of it is really interesting in terms of world building and lore, but you kind of have to sift through silly, generic soldier talk. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, what's this Larcus Incident? So those 4 OCU Wanzers were Royd's team. I believe including his was it his fiance? I can't quite recall. Certainly his lover, and then a couple other units that were with them. And of course, this is a setup. They were framed. And that was true. So the plot here relies a lot on, I guess, what you call dramatic irony. That we, as somebody who has played through the FM series, knows that what these people are saying is ignorant, and there's actually more to the story than what they know. All right, yeah. Let's talk to Dwayne. Right, so some people not wanting to start the war, some people looking for revenge against the OCU for battles fought. So James Sato seems to be a bit of a ladies' man and kind of a slacker, but he's a combat expert. And we can review the tutorial, more or less. This is where you come to get tutorials. I'm not going to go through all the tutorials. Obviously, that doesn't make for a good Let's Play. So this is introducing the class system to the player and showing that the USN staff are kind of scrambling to bring people out of the recruits into combat roles because of the lead up to the war. Alright, so we don't need to know about that yet. You're not a captain, that's for sure. And this is another hint about the game system, where if people work in links together, they have some kind of affinity that builds up, similar to many other SRPGs. But the lounge. So you can see these are all officers. So lowly ranked soldier like Walter isn't supposed to be a part of these kind of hush-hush conversations. And this home, capital H home, that is mentioned in the dialogues is basically the orphanage where Walter grew up with Randy. And she knows Randy, so she knows he's a big idiot. Without Walter, he's just lost. It's a recurring thing, I guess, in the Front Mission series that, you know, you have the Paradise Burger on Huffman Island. It's kind of like the In and Out or something. I think actually in the Front Mission 1 manga, there is a scene where Royd and his pals are hanging out in the Paradise Burger, and we will actually see it pop up in some of the cinematics as well. So if you tell him the opposite, then he'll say, "Oh, you should be a sniper." And if you tell him feels great to pilot, then he'll say you should be up front. If you tell him the opposite, he'll say you should be a sniper. Alright, and this is the administration building. Ooh. It's not some healthy sound effects there. We're just gonna skip that. I don't want to talk to him about the different job types. We'll get plenty of that. So this is another person from Home 47, the orphanage where Walter and Randy grew up. And we can actually go talk to the base commander. Well, fine then. And I think we just have to go to the ops room. Let's bother him some more. Okay. Finally. So you'll notice that everybody around Walter just talks about how awesome Walter is, and that never changes throughout the whole game. A little bit of ego massaging for the player, I guess. And Randy here is pretty much there as a foil to show that Walter is awesome, whereas he is not. It's too bad for Randy that he just exists to prove that Walter is better than him. And yeah, you notice that the date is always a... Okay, I'll shut up.
それを操るのは人間だ。能力を磨け。ワンツァーの性能は諸君たちの能力に他ならない。決して怠るな。分かったか？さあ、イエスだ！これをもって全カリキュラムを終了する。諸君、合格だ。おめでとう。やったな。ああ、やった。とうとうここまで来たぞ。
ご苦労、随分と残ったな。落語者は何名出た
92名であります。
この中に味方を踏み潰す奴はいるか
おりません、大佐。全11名、即お役に立てる状態です。
よくやった。あとは私から伝える。
はっ。
おめでとう諸君、楽にしたまえ。本来ならば休暇前にパーティーを満喫してもらいたいところではあるが、緊急事態が発生した。昨日起こったラーカス地区の襲撃事件は皆知っていると思う。これは OCU 軍が停戦条約を破棄した明確な侵略行為である。だが OCU 側の見解によれば、この事件は我々の狂言であり、事実無根の虚偽と非難声明を出す始末だ。我が国はこれら一連の行為を宣戦布告とみなし、OCU への報復攻撃と侵攻作戦を開始する。これを見てもらいたい。概略を説明する。侵攻作戦は6日後、0900に開始される。我々はペセタ近郊の前線基地に集結。3個師団を4陣に分けて進軍する。強襲隊が先行し、レーダー施設並びに対空部隊を無力化。ついでルーピデスからの空挺部隊1個師団がフリーダムへと空挺強襲を行い、同時に地上部隊が合流して制圧する。陸と空からの挟み撃ち作戦だ。史上稀に見るバンツァーの大規模戦闘になるだろう。諸君らは第三陣として残存勢力の制圧任務についてもらう。何か質問は？よろしい。詳細は軍曹から説明される。今後は彼の指示に従いたまえ。以上だ。諸君らの健闘に期待している。
Alright, so there's plenty to talk about from that video. I was just going to say at the beginning there that you can see the date on each video and the time, and that just kind of emphasizes the historical aspect of the game, that you should be able to place each scene within the chronology of the broader Front Mission series. This particular mission is taking place in between the first mission of Front Mission 1, where the Larcus Incident happens, and the beginning of the game proper, where we see Royd working as a mercenary, having been, made into a pariah because of the Larcus Incident, and recruited by OCU intelligence to work for them. Right, so, you might feel a little bit nostalgic if you've played Front Mission 1, to see all those cities mentioned, Peseta, Freedom City, Rupidus base, which is one of the late game areas in Front Mission 1. And actually, the area in Freedom City that is mentioned there is the site for a mission in Front Mission First, or the Front Mission DS version, where you fight against the mercenary company, or sorry, you're fighting with the mercenary company Hell's Wall in the USN campaign. So it's really cool to see that particular map show up in the briefing there. And in this section of the game, we're playing as the USN, and we're on the offensive. And when you start Front Mission 1 as a mercenary working for the OCU, you are on the back foot, and the USN have pushed you all the way back to the west end of the island. So we're at the phase right now where the USN is going to go on the offensive and reach that point at which Front Mission 1 starts. So it's really impressive the way that the games are integrated with each other so tightly in that way. All right, let's see what everybody has to say here. Yeah, sorry, Randy just saying, whoa, you're on another team? Uh-oh. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, so, hopefully, Randy will just muddle through without Walter on this mission. And we're going to save the game. Let's check here. What's the length of our video? 43 minutes. So I'm going to put a cut in here, and then we'll get to the actual fighting in the next video. Sorry that was a kind of a slow video, but that's the way things are going to go because this is a slower game than, say, Final Fantasy Tactics. So I hope you enjoyed that video, and I look forward to doing the first mission of the game. See you next time.